If you're like me, you've had a brainworm telling you to be a fan of this series called Twisted Metal for the better part of several decades now. While these games are very unique and interesting on their own, and certainly hold up to the test of time, mainly because no one else has released a modern car combat game that replicates Twisted Metal quite perfectly, the single-player experience this series can offer is inherently limited. You can play through the campaigns at maximum difficulty or even try speedrunning them, but at the end of the day, there's only so much gameplay complexity that can be offered by an AI that was written to run on a PlayStation 2. That's where the online component of these games come in. While not well known by the wider fan base, most Twisted Metal games do feature an online multiplayer functionality in some form or another. Specifically, Twisted Metal 1, Twisted Metal 2, Twisted Metal Black, Twisted Metal Head-On, and Twisted Metal 2012 feature online multiplayer functionality that is still playable to various degrees to this day. However, out of all these experiences, one especially stands out to me, Twisted Metal Black Online. A version of Twisted Metal Black that was released alongside the PlayStation 2 network adapter with tweaked balance and network multiplayer functionality. To put it succinctly, discovering this game changed my life in a few meaningful ways, and has led me to find a gameplay and a community that I consider to be among some of the best on the internet, as well as an extremely fun and in-depth gameplay experience. However, we will get to the community stuff later. So, what is TMBO exactly? TMBO was, on its release, a free online game you could get by mailing a coupon that came with your PS2 network adapter, and one you can still play on fan revival servers to this day with your original PS2 copy and your network adapter. Or one you can also emulate on a PC, Mac, or Linux computer, and consoles, including the Xbox Series consoles, and even a backwards compatible fat PlayStation 3. It features classic Twisted Metal gameplay that millions have loved back in Twisted Metal Black, with some balance changes and the depth and skill provided by dueling up to 7 other players at once in 2 to 8 player online matches. A great deal of skill in TMBO comes from learning how to duel against human opponents, including some of those that had years and even decades to learn this game and its tricks, in turn leading to the mechanical complexities of this game and how they can be best utilized to come out as a victor, becoming much more obvious in gameplay modes such as free-for-alls, or even helping your team win in team-based modes such as Last Man Standing. Only by playing TMBO do you realize how intricate the gameplay of Twisted Metal can get when pushed to its limits by skilled human hands. Many mechanics that largely do not play a factor in the single-player game, such as dodging, become essential tools that one has to utilize in order to achieve victory. To elaborate on my example, dodging is the act of avoiding getting hit by homing weapons in Twisted Metal Black and Twisted Metal Black Online by adjusting your movements such that the projectiles miss you. This is aided by the unique netcode of Twisted Metal Black Online, where the hit detection is done on the client side. So if you dodge a projectile, you dodge it. Instead of most modern games where you might visibly avoid getting hit, but still receive damage from beyond cover, or from a move that clearly missed you. This is further aided by the homing logic of these projectiles targeting where the player is, rather than where the player will be, encouraging these types of maneuvers. While I can elaborate further on all the mechanical complexities of Twisted Metal Black Online that make the game a uniquely fun and skill-based experience, there are much better videos on the subject, such as the Twisted Metal Black Online Bible, which gets even more in-depth with strategies that are unique to each and every car, and my example is more of an example in of its own rather than an elaborate explanation of the topic. However, such videos and content would not exist without the backing of a dedicated and historied community that plays Twisted Metal religiously to this day. And that community is the Twisted Metal Alliance, or TMA for short. A community that has been on the internet since the 1990s and is still currently active today in the form of a public Discord server, linked below, and an online forum. While the history of the Twisted Metal Alliance is long enough to be its own video, nay a documentary, their current online presence is noteworthy enough to be a major part of this video and this game. It is through the efforts of TMA that TMBO is still playable online, as well as other TM games such as the PC versions of Twisted Metal 1 and Twisted Metal 2. Furthermore, TMA's long history means that it contains a number of veteran players who have been dedicated to the series since it was brand new, and are full of accurate, provable knowledge. Only when exposed to this knowledge did I realize how inaccurate most videos, wikis, and posts about Twisted Metal on the internet were woefully lacking at best, and were outright false at worst. The wealth of knowledge in this community is not only limited to gameplay intricacies for the online portion of Twisted Metal either, as many of our community members have played a part in the development of these games, and have been featured in the special thanks sections of various Twisted Metal entries, including Small Brawl, Twisted Metal Black, and Twisted Metal 2012, including a trophy and the most recent 2012 release of the series. We host many game nights for Twisted Metal games, with our most prominent one being Saturday Night Twisted Metal Black Online. And it is where most of the gameplay content on this channel, as well as other community members such as KG, Kilrahi, and Ark's gameplay are from. I hope that this video was able to serve as a quick introduction to this old and interesting video game that holds up wonderfully to this day, and that it has persuaded you to try online Twisted Metal yourself. We are always happy to have new players join our community and our game nights. Thank you for watching.